Hello. I guess what's up is my normal saying. Ladies and gentlemen, so this is a normal Sunday stock talk where we go over futures, right? So the dollar, the Russell, the Nasdaq, the S&P, kind of go over the expected moves for the Fantastic Seven and those three. But I want to spend a little bit of time talking about GameStop. There's a lot going on about it right now. And I know everyone saw the stream Friday. I know a lot of people did, and probably wasn't what you expected. It certainly wasn't what I expected. My only stream I'd ever seen technically was the Dumb Money movie. So it was quite interesting. Doesn't really change anything. I care more about the money than I do anything else. His position's still there. There's still the exercise and the options looking for 12 million shares. I don't know if you guys have looked at the volume. 12 million can be covered. It's just at what price does the 12 million get covered at? I do know right now the short, it is more shorted now than it was in 2021. So the short squeeze thing is still there. And honestly, I've seen a lot of people talk about strangles, straddles. They're going to buy calls and puts. And just as long as it makes a move, you make money. The Vega, right, the IV on this is way too expensive to be talking about that play. And right now, I think the risk is on the shorts. I personally would not want to be short this right now. Now, I also am long this, and we're going to talk about the growth count here in a second, because it's probably going in it as well tomorrow. There are plays you can make on this to not really get all the way. We're not just jumping in with a cannonball. You can dip your toes in this and still make quite a bit of money. But I think what a lot of people are seeing right now is how many times it's pumped up. And when it pumps up like this, a lot of people start to think, well, I can buy it here. If it goes back up to $40, I'm good. That's great. If it goes up to $70, then I more than double my money, and I'll just get out then. So right now I'll play it. I feel safe. I'm going to buy the dip. But a lot of people, when they see those green candles, they think it's going to go higher, so they become holders. There's a lot of uneducated people in here that might cause the shorts a lot of trouble. They might think they're educated. They might use some big words like some other people, but they just don't know how the markets work, which inherently could be a good thing for anybody that is long this thing. So, again, not to talk bad about anything or anybody like that, I just particularly, if I wasn't long this, I just wouldn't be in it. I don't. Maybe you went short intraday off the news of the dilution, and which with that they did have to put out some earnings, part of their earnings. We haven't seen the rest of the filings, so technically all the bad news is out. What are they going to say during their earnings call on Tuesday that's going to really send it even further? That likely could just be more of a positive catalyst for this. The expected move for this, not that truly matters, right now is $12.24. I think it's $12. I did put it up there. Anybody that has my charts, all the expected moves have already been updated, so you're already good to go there. But getting outside this, so they have all the call options between now and $40 hedged and accounted for. So when we start getting outside of that, anybody who had the 50 call options, 55, anything in between, anything above that, right now, again, a call option, if you buy at the money, that's 50 deltas. They have that accounted for. Up the 40s, probably still more like the 30, 40 deltas. Anything outside this, not really accounted for. So when we do get up there, market makers need to remain at a neutral delta. They will start accounting for the people that own these call options. Right now, they're thinking they're going to keep all their money. So that being said, there's just not a lot to break down that you probably already haven't heard on the internet. But I think there is a very big risk to being short this thing. Because if they get on a short squeeze, can you really hold that position down over 100%? If you go long this thing's got $27.12 further. It can go down, and that's it. So that's your max loss. You go short this thing right now. And from what I'm seeing from all the YouTubers and people in the comments, this thing going to $100 plus a share is all but guaranteed. Everybody keeps talking about these numbers. And I don't know where or why they're coming up with the $100 mark. I don't like to just pull random numbers out like that. There is one question I have for everybody. What is the Kansas City Shuffle? You guys keep saying it when it comes to GameStop. I'm in Kansas City. I don't see it painted on the buildings. What is the Kansas City Shuffle? I feel like I should know that living in Kansas City. But In relation to the growth count, for anybody following that is the public account. Right now, we're up 36% for the year. Last year we were up 140, so we're a little bit behind, but we're about to play catch up. There just hasn't been a lot of fantastic opportunities like there was last year. But as of tomorrow morning, selling everything that's in there. We have a share of Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. We have Palantir. Depending on how much Palantir we have, I saw some people in the Discord, their shares didn't get called away. We sold the 23 strike. As of closing, and a little bit after, it was above 23, but I don't know if everybody got called away or not. We have a little more than 100 shares of Palantir anyway. All of that's going. At the bell, I'm going to go through, click sell, sell all, sell, sell all, and I'm going through, period. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Because right now I am going to be buying NVIDIA, but I want NVIDIA to pull back first, so I want to see what this week has to bring. We do have a lot. We're going to come back to GameStop. But as far as this week goes, we have CPI on Wednesday, so we got some volatility. We have Fed interest rate decision. That should be literally nothing. Anybody talking about this is... I don't know why they would. Maybe they're bored looking for content. That should be 0. It should stay 0. If there's any excuse to watch that, it's probably just going to be if there's any wording, any verbiage about going forward. What plan are we on? So for anybody in futures, that could offer some volatility. Thursday we have PPI, jobless claims, which is normal. Got our normal stuff. But first and foremost, CPI coming out. GameStop is going to be on Tuesday as far as their actual earnings. But what I'm thinking for this week, since we're not going to just jump in, cannonball, blindly into NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is up there. Now, as far as NVIDIA goes, I put the expected move at $7. I have not adjusted this yet. Let's just bring that up just for giggles. Nope, that won't even. The share price will adjust. We'll move that. So that should put us at 120.80 cents. Let's just drop down to there. Let's see, right, 120.80 cents. So we'll call that. Let's go 127.80, and what's that, 113-ish? I'm not penciling the math. That'd be 113 just in general. Yeah, we'll go 113. Call it good enough. All right, that will likely be somewhere around our expected move. That's just because I've been doing this for a while. That's my lucky guess. We'll see where it's at tomorrow morning when all the accounting is done for the split, and we start seeing it on the chart. So shout out to everybody who thought they were short this, and how their guru went and knew when to go short, and how he shorted that thing from $1,200 to $120, because it's going to be mind-blowing to those people. So congrats. We'll draw new zones tomorrow. I just want to delete the line. How hard is that? I was just trying to delete the expected move line. We got rid of all the zones. So anyway, that's going to be my target right there. For the plan, guys, I do want to get 100 shares of NVIDIA, and we're going to start selling calls against that, but I'm not just going to jump right in. We are going to grab some. However, half of the account, a little less actually, it's going to go into GameStop. And what I'm going to do is sell a put option. Now, the expected move is $12, which really puts us down to that 15 mark, and I like to sell options outside this. This is where market makers, again, kind of handicap their risk. This is where everything, again, delta hedge and accounted for. So can we pull this up? This might take 30 minutes. TOS, I don't know if you guys have ever tried this. When I click unlock and type in it again, never happens. So I have to just click quit, do it, restart it. We will pull that up and kind of see where the options are at right now. Puts should be pretty juiced up with Vega alone, plus the just red day in general. So I'm thinking, I'm as of right now, before it's installing the updates and everything, as of now, I'm thinking the 20 strike. The cool thing about GameStop right now is because everyone and their mom is in it, including BlackRock. BlackRock is the #1 holder, and they're probably loving this because they're selling all these options to everybody else. Let's go June 14th. Now, if we sell the 20 put, we'll collect $67, 33,000 in there. Because he has those call options at 34, it's in their best interest to just hammer this thing below 20. I just don't see that happening. I think a lot of people will see that as a floor. And if we look technically speaking, we're creeping our way up. So we have until the 14th. So if we were to keep this trend line, just kind of keep the overall trend going, that would put us around the 24. I do like selling the 18 deltas. That puts us at the 13 deltas. So we can actually jump up to the 2150s, which is what I'm normally at. And we collect. Now if we go right here to the $22, a little bit more options involved, open interest in there. So we'll collect $135 as of now, putting our average cost, just shy of $20.50. So we're getting close to that floor anyway. So that's probably what I'll end up doing tomorrow, is just collecting the free $135. That'll be a free NVIDIA share. I'll probably even use that capital to buy an NVIDIA share. So that's probably where the growth account will be tomorrow. Again, bunch of risk. I post everything I do in that account, whether you guys want to follow it or not. So remember, this is still me at the wheel. I do like to ask you guys' opinion, because there's a lot to growing an account that's that size. When you start from zero and work your way up, there's just certain things you can't afford. However, this time I think we can afford this. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and do that. To lose on this, we would have to just be absolutely decimated, full send. We might be able to even sell our way out of that as well, because if it does sell off, let's say we get assigned shares at $22, volatility not going anywhere. I think we're just getting warmed up. So in that case, if we get assigned at 22, we will have collected the $135, own it at 22. We can turn around and then sell the 22 calls. Now, if we bring that back up, let's say we're remotely even close. Right now, at the money calls are going for $5. That's an extra $500. That brings your average down very quickly. So I imagine we won't be in trouble for very long on this, which is why I don't mind doing this, because I want to be patient as far as NVIDIA. I want to have, the reason why I'm selling everything and I'm ready to pounce is because if NVIDIA does offer a dip buy that I can't pass up, I want to be ready to buy it. So that's why in that account, I'm going to do that, take advantage of the short-term volatility, and then I'm going to grab some NVIDIA. The Kansas City Shuffle is an old name for a con game that depends on the mark believing correctly, that the con artist is trying to con them, but being incorrect about how it's going to be done. Okay, so like a magic trick, look over here while we do this kind of thing. I appreciate that, Steve. Because I kept hearing people randomly talk about this. I'm like, what are they? First of all, why do they keep bringing Kansas City? All right. We'd be more on margin for NVIDIA if closer to money on GameStop, right? We're not going to be on margin at all right now. I have a long call expiring this Friday on GameStop. I have no desire to own shares. Okay. Roaring Kitty got shafted by the rug pull on Ryan Cohen. Not really. Not yet. Offering shares, yes, they've done 2 offerings, and it does put a hamper down, but it just looks like they're not going to allow him to do a hostile takeover. But again, what do they want to sell? 75 million shares. The volume was 200 million. I mean, we can absorb it pretty quickly. The halts being weaponized, I would say, is a little bit more. Anytime it was like, oh, we got this guy going live, we can't have him saying something. So they were ready with the trigger, and they were just halting stuff. It was like it was live for 38 seconds, the whole hour he was live. So that's just annoying. But right now, I do think if I was short, I'm trying to think if I was already short this, whether I went short pre-market, short after right now, am I up enough to not put up with the risk? And I have to think, if I'm responsible and I just like money, yeah, I go long stuff, I go short stuff all the time. And yeah, I hope things go to $1 million and bankrupt, depending on which one I am. If I'm short, I would love for that company to come out and say, we're closing up shop. Sweet. But if I went short just at the bell at $40 and it's at 27, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close it. That's a great profit. Given the inherent risk, I don't want to catch that gap up. If I think things are just smooth rolling, yeah, I might stay in it. I'll trail it and do the best I can, try to get every dollar I can out of it. And if you're new to me, there's no such thing as managing a red trade. There's only managing green trades. You get in, you have a stop, you have your exit, and if it hits that, it hits that. That's it. But if it goes in your favor and continues to go, I don't like to just randomly take my money and run gambling schemes. I trail it. I like to buy when it makes sense, sell when it makes sense. So I would most of the time just trail it. However, right now, all the action's happening pre-market. So if I was going to be in this short at all, it would have to be shares. There's no way I'd be buying puts. Anybody buying calls and puts, you're wasting your money, I think, to the put side. Because you have to spend so much. You'd have to make such a miraculous move just for you to break even, let alone push up. Volatility's already pushed up. You already missed the train on that. I think anybody promoting that probably just doesn't know, and they're using it more for clicks than they are education or to actually make money. And again, not to be mean, but just consider this. The amount of subscribers does not equal accuracy. Okay, I saw a guy the other day, and as I was watching this, blown away. 555,000 subscribers. Absolutely blown away at how he has that following. He pulled up Robinhood and was talking about the double top on Robinhood. You know how much data Robinhood actually leaves out? Can you imagine doing technical analysis on Robinhood and believing you have anything to talk about? Mind-blowing. Again, I would caution who you're watching on this. Whatever reason gets you to sleep at night as to why you're holding long, sure, this isn't a fundamentals thing. This is a trading thing. There is a reason why I would be nervous as a short. It has nothing to do fundamentally about GameStop. GameStop's probably worth the cash they have on hand, but if I wanted a company that had cash on hand, I would just go buy Palantir. All right, if I wanted to just own something that depreciates, I'd go buy a car lot. Okay, I don't care if the company has cash on hand unless they're buying something. That's why I like NVIDIA. NVIDIA's track record with their management as far as like when they pick a company and say, I'm buying it, I like it, I'm on board. GameStop doesn't have that track record. So I don't care how much cash they have on hand. Cool, they're not going bankrupt. They have money, they can pay their employees. That's fantastic. That has nothing to do with why I think it will go up next week or the following week after. Anyway, rant over. He's just going to continue to milk the apes tomorrow. If I was in BlackRock, if I was in any of these positions, yeah, I would. I would do the same thing. The thing is, guys, it's not an actual movement. It is manipulating money from one bank to the next and playing on emotions, and I would take full advantage of this if I was in any of their shoes. You guys can buy and believe whatever you want. You can believe Santa is real. I don't. It would not matter to me. And they don't care about you. They don't know you exist. They don't know you post on Wall Street Bets 94 million times a day. No one cares. They really don't. They are out to make money. At the end of the day, when they go show their boss, hey, as a trader, this is how much I made you today. Cool. You don't get fired. That's it. I saw another person say the algorithms are probably really confused on this because there's a lot of up and down and headlines. Algorithms, it's not a confused robot. They get the parameters put in every day. They're still managed by humans. They know full well what's going on right now. There's no such thing as confusion right now. You can either catch them by the balls or not. That's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's that. But with volatility as high as it is, yeah, it would suck to be short this thing. But there's a lot of institutions probably making a lot of money off this. That being said, if you have to, if he wants to exercise his call options, 120,000 call options at the 20 strike, he needs 12 million shares. That could literally be filled in a matter of seconds with the volume on this. It's just a matter of who's going to sell, because if nobody sells their shares, locks up that float, someone needs to buy those shares right now. That's when you can pin them and say, because everybody's got a price, and you can say, here's my price, and that's how you can really screw somebody on this. That is short. But playing the in and out game or getting emotional, and you do you and you have your own plan. I'd like to hear it, but I don't care. If your opinion differs, sweet. But if everybody did hold, yes, it'd be a 12. Anybody who wants to buy 12 million shares, you can buy any ticker you want. It's probably going to produce a green candle just on that alone. Now, if everybody's going to buy and hold for whatever reason, there's numerous ones out there, at that point, that could really send it higher. And if there's a bunch of shorts in it now, And a green candle just gets them out, just like you getting out of a long position on a red candle can really start to send that buy side activity really up. So anyway, long story short, it's why I'm going to sell a put. That's also why I just would not really want to short this thing right now. Buying calls, they're very expensive. If it pays out, it pays out. If it just goes sideways, you're going to lose a chunk for sure. You catch one of those calls on the right day. The problem is it a green candle like this? Is it a green candle like that? We got small, medium, large. No guarantee any one of them is going to happen. But you would need one of those to happen for your calls to probably make money. This right here, you would lose a lot. So the only thing GameStop turned into was, going to the casino. There's the $5 table. Now it's the $25 table, where every move will move some money up or down. Apes think GameStop is Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah, because he was drinking a drink owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Halt stop GameStop from crashing further. You should be happy. The halt does work both ways. I agree there. But anyway, I'm gonna move on to my normal stuff. If you are just tuning in, I just went over a lot about GameStop. But let's get into everything else and see if I'm rich or not. I'm not. Anytime that has a green candle, just know I'm probably losing money. I am short the dollar. I need this to just get wrecked. I'm glad that candle's red. I really did not want a higher low. I thought we were breaking down, and Friday was just in send it mode. So, with any luck, we break this range to the downside and send it. I have not added on. I added on some last week, but I have not added on again to this position. You're already rich. I know. I guess for the people that don't watch me, that's just a joke. I've been short the dollar for a while. I have watched probably more money in my account go up and down than you've ever seen in your GameStop shares or calls, just in the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. So I would really appreciate it if we got out of just historical levels. That'd be great. Bitcoin probably still hanging out. Yeah, Bitcoin's still inside this range. Range or not, we still have to contend with the magic yellow boxes. And hopefully the dollar sells off. We hedge and full send right now until it breaks. I guess we gotta make this a little bit wider. Until it breaks that, it's just not much to talk about. There won't be any headlines until it does. All right, S&P Friday, little back and forth. Hang on, get out of here. So we, again, up, down, hit the zone, bounce back up. I think all you're doing is pulling over after that move up. So if anything, we're just creating a bull flag. Noob, I just haven't clicked on it yet or see where it's at. No, actually, I don't see her. I posted the explanation on Discord. Discord general. Okay. I'm in the wrong general chat. Thank you. Here's the Kansas City Shuffle. I appreciate that. I will read that as soon as we're done. What's the chances GMC is the new UVXY? Would be the only thing that makes sense to me. I don't think so. Technician says it needs a 26% drop to be at $20. Yeah. He says, wow, you can see me? I'm looking at the chat, guys. That's why I go live. I do like chatting with you guys. I would be bullish. However, again, we have CPI Wednesday, Thursday, PPI. So we got some letters. I swear if I see one YouTuber talking about how this could change, it could go up, it could go down, I'm going to lose my mind. Rates are not going anywhere. Full stop. If there's any verbiage about where it could be, how many rate cuts in the year, sure, we're not changing anything this time. I would expect probably something bullish, maybe taking some money off the table, taking some risk off before the event, and then push. As far as your expected moves go, I do bet we grind up this week. I think more of a bull flag than anything on both of those. Expected moves didn't show anything spectacular. It just looks like another normal week. The Russell has had some movement. Now, the Russell is in a zone, so if there's one I would feel probably a little bit better buying, it would be the Russell out of the three. I like the bull flag on both. We have some extra volatility. We have NVIDIA that could do something. So I would probably keep it nice and tight, and I would rather be in the Nasdaq than the S&P. But if there's one I just want to maybe be long, get some long exposure, but not carry that kind of violence, I would say the Russell for now. I'm tempted to go all in after reading it. It says it makes too much sense, and then Ricky says, "What did it say?" Just tell me. I don't want to read. All right. Now I'm intrigued. Russell still largely sideways in a zone. Here's the zone kind of showing up on these ETFs. I don't like zoning out ETFs like this because, again, it's like reading the Harry Potter books, but only reading the odd or even pages. You get to know the story. You probably missed out on quite a few details, which is why you don't see these marked up. I like to watch the futures movement because that's what drives the order flow to these ETFs. So we're looking for that to hold right there. Actually, it would be a tad bit lower. One line off right there. Okay, Tesla. Now, Tesla did have a little bit bigger move. This thing's looking really charted out. I'll put it that way. I'm tired of it looking this. For a stock this sideways, there should not be this many lines. I'm going to go ahead and delete this top line. Might as well just delete these bottom lines because it's not going there again. We can delete that one. I guess like I just said that with confidence. Nah, don't worry about that. It's not going there. Not going there either. The problem with this is that market makers, they do follow me. So if I start deleting boxes, they use these boxes. And when they see no zone below, they think no floor, sell everything. It's a situation. So that's why I can't really delete these bottom ones. I'd have a lot of people upset with me. And you can ask yourself, am I serious or is that a joke? Stick around for a while. See if you can come up with the answer. I don't know if deliveries are coming out soon. The expected move was just wider on Tesla. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what news is coming out. I don't check or care. I still need Tesla to get above this. But what I do think is people are catching on to the fact that a stock like Tesla just shouldn't be this sideways. Someone, I think, is accumulating. Probably accumulating quite a bit of shares. I am, but not. Well, I'm accumulating money, right? I keep selling the 170 strike puts on this. They have yet to fill. So every week, just keep it rolling. I'm gonna sell the 170s until I have it, or until it breaks up, and then I have to just buy more shares. But for now, man, I don't know what to say on this one. Elon for president. So people can draw a bunch of shapes. Remember that red and blue ball you had when you were a kid, and you put the yellow shapes in there, and your parents clapped if you got one right? Did they clap at all for you? You just didn't get any right? Anyway, you probably learned some basic shapes. Now, people love to draw them on charts. What I'm looking at here is look at how open this was. Look at how noisy this is. Plenty of movement. This is normal Tesla stuff, but we really just consolidated. We just said, shut your mouth unless you have money right now. And these are the people with money, if that makes sense. Trying to paint that picture. We're really tightening things up, which means the spring is loaded. Now that, again, heads or tails, we're going to flip that coin and let somebody call it. It's not going to be you. You're just going to be in the audience. But that's what I do think. I think the move could be sooner than later. I don't know if we're going to wait till August, like some people think, for Elon's announcement of something of some sort. Shareholder meeting Thursday? Okay. Thank you for that. Right now, I think I got I will say, last piece on this is it's kind of giving me FOMO. It makes me want to buy the shares now instead of just selling puts. Let's do a couple more. Meta went for it, got above this range. So if this does dip down into this, what I'm personally looking at doing is grabbing some more at that 480 level. Microsoft. I was going to buy quite a bit more of Microsoft. Unfortunately, I guess it's going into NVIDIA allocation-wise. If I were, I would take the dip buy at 420. Apple. What does Apple have this week? So Apple's expected move was considerably bigger. Oh, they're doing some event Thursday, I think, right? This is one I would, if it had a green day, I would sell some 205, 207 call spreads if they paid anything. I don't think if it has a green day and juices them up, that's what I would do. It's not typically a 3 standard deviation runner. Think of GameStop and then think of the exact opposite. Google still hanging out in this range. Yeah, worth buying the dip on, I think. All right, last but not least, your chat with the neurosurgeon yesterday was enlightening. So this is Don Fran Trading. My previous channel was Don Fran Show. I had to convert that over to AI stuff to kind of get that message out. So if you want to check out that, I've been talking about AI. I did have a neurologist on there, and we were talking about just AI in general in the medical field. So I do encourage, if you guys have any interest at all, check out that channel. It's just a conversation piece. There will be a part 2, so I want to get everybody's questions in the comments. So if you want to ask a real doctor something about that and how he feels, maybe get some insights, check out that video, get a feel for who he is as a person, and then make sure you comment down below because there will be a part 2 coming up, maybe many more. He does like it. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, check it out. Technician says the spring coils got smaller. I don't think they got smaller. I think they just got compressed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to get to my mentorship group. If you want to check all that out, I guess that's the Patreon link down below. Anyway, good luck. Shout out to the movement. Yeah. Just kidding. Whatever reason you are in GameStop, full send. The more you hold, the more it goes. I should not say that. The more everyone holds in general and does not sell, removes that float, makes it higher, right? As long as there's a lack of buyers, a lack of sellers make the price go up. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up before I do find myself in trouble. Mentorship, don't go anywhere. Everyone else, you will see me Tuesday.